You know, you don't know that I was thinking how I ride this, the coattails of Flat Earth. I was just thinking of another coat to ride, and it was video games. Video games. Because back in the day, when YouTube was fresh, like back in the day when I would type in like the alphabet for in Google, the Google search, I type A, and there'd be like, 16,000 results. B, 23,000 results. And so on, to where there was no million or anything. It was like, I couldn't imagine what, if you searched, just type in A, hit enter, and how many search, 47 trillion results. Anyway, I noticed that certain topics that I would research, they had a connection. And there was two different connections. There was video games and speed death metal. Peculiar. Like the pineal gland. Like pineology. The study of the pineal gland. Speed death metal. Yeah. At first I was kind of upset. Thought it was ridiculous. But as time went on, it made absolute sense. If you wanted to hide the truth, bury it in speed death metal and video games. This is just my opinion, but I find that there's more political truth in speed death metal bands than Fox News. I know it's a pretty bad comparison. There's more truth and history in video games than there is in college. So, I've been out of the video game world for a couple decades. So, I might have to do my research to get a hold of a good, a good one. Which brings me to Pon Pon Pon. Have you ever heard of Pon Pon Pon? Well, if you haven't, 83 million other people have. I remember when I first came across Pon Pon Pon, there was 50 million views. 50 million views on Pon Pon Pon. And I was disgusted at how jealous I was. I was like, what? I want a Pon Pon Pon. And I just looked at it just a couple days ago, and it was like 83 million. 83 million. That's like, just call it a bunch of people. Pon Pon Pon. Anyway, I like the acoustics in here. The acoustics are spectacular. And the view is just as good. Mm-hmm. Yep. I am tasked to find a meal that is ethnically requested. A certain ethnic meal that I probably should be more familiar with. For I am quarter Korean, and the first thing I thought of was obviously dog, right? I mean, when I grew up, I disappointed a lot of people when they would attempt to make fun of me of my ethnicity. Oh, you eat dog. And I grew up on a farm to where if you put that sucker in a little Chief smoker and smoked it, I'd eat your fucking cat. I'd eat you if it was jerkied up properly. I mean, granted, I wouldn't eat my own dog, but I'd eat your dog. As long as it was jerkied up.